Maybe the second time would be a charm. I just recorded 20 something odd minutes, had to throw it all out because the sound was even worse than what's going on now. But welcome back to Nights and Weekends with me, your host, Marcus. All right. We're going to go on ahead and hop right on into it. Man, I'm looking like I came out of 1998 here. I'm wearing stuff from when I was in high school.
It looks the same as it did last time I saw it. The reflection has changed a bit.
All right, but we're going to go ahead and hop right on into this. It's not going to be a 25-minute long video. I can tell you that. So we're going to hop right on into what I saw from the President's State of the Union address. The thing I did not like was a myriad of things, but I don't want to make a video that's 2 hours long. But we are going to just go on ahead and hop right on into the first thing that he said. Hey, DJ, cue up the insurrection talk.
Just like History Watch 3 years ago on January 6th, when insurrectionists stormed this very Capitol and placed a dagger to the throat of American democracy.
So as we can see there, our president said that there was an insurrection on January 6th. The thing that's nice is we actually have laws that are written down on paper, so we can actually go look it up. It's 18 U.S. Code 2383, Rebellion and Insurrection. I'm going to try to read this for you. Whoever incites, sets foot, assists, or engages in any rebellion or insurrection against the authority of the United States or the laws thereof, or gives aid or comfort thereto, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both, and shall be incapable of holding office under the United States. Now, as we can see, no one was charged with insurrection, by the way. Not a single person was charged with an insurrection from the rioters who broke on into the Capitol. I actually want these people held accountable, but I also want the same people held accountable. I also want the exact same people held accountable who were out and about during the summer of love and we're doing all types of insane stuff. I actually want them held accountable too. Do you want them held accountable? We'll see about that. But as we can see, the only person who actually got any type of long jail sentence was Enrique Tarrio. He ended up getting 22-year sentence for seditious conspiracy. Now, if a certain someone gets in, odds are he's not going to see 22 years. Now, should he see some time? Yes. As much time as that? No. I want him to get as much time as those jerks who were rioting here in our hometown, somewhere United States. And I want for him to get as much time as the folks who did Cop City down in Atlanta. I also want them to get as much time as the people who burned up the police station in Seattle, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Next, we are going to move on to our president talking about the situation with schools and Head Start and third and fourth graders and how we need to spend more money. So DJ, go on ahead and cue up the stuff on getting your third grader into school.
Want to give every child, a good start by providing access to preschool for 3 and 4 years old. That children coming from broken homes where there's no books, they're not read to, not spoken to very often, start school, kindergarten or first grade, having heard 1 million fewer words spoken. Well, studies show that children who go to preschool are nearly 50% more likely to finish high school, go on to earn a 2- and 4-year degree, no matter what their background is.
The thing that's sad about that is that this has been going on for almost 60 years. Almost 60 years. As we can see here, Head Start was a comprehensive preschool program for 3 and 4-year-olds to narrow the gap between the people that were low income and the middle and upper income peers. We have spent probably, if you want to add this, not 166, it's probably closer to 200 billion has been spent on that. And it's a failure. So there was a study that came out in 2010 underneath the Obama administration, Department of Health and Human Services. it had on here that after spending all that money and everything else, bad news. It found by the end of the first grade, children who attended Head Start were essentially indistinguishable from a control group of students who didn't. So we've essentially spent all that money and got what for it? Then we're going to go over to all the other stuff here that he wants for the schools. So DJ, go on ahead and cue that up, Marcus.
When I was told I couldn't universally just change the way in which we dealt with student loans, I fixed 2 student loan programs that already existed to reduce the burden of student debt for nearly 4 million Americans, including nurses, firefighters, and others in public service. Like Keenan Jones, a public educator from Minnesota, who's here with us tonight. Keenan, where are you? Keenan, now he's able to help, after debt forgiveness, get his own daughter to college.
It's actually kind of messed up with the student loan stuff. So that one guy is now out of student loan debt, and he's going to put his kid right on into it. It would be funny if it wasn't so tragic, but I find it kind of amazing that this person is clearly just doing whatever when it comes to student loans, and no one's hauling him off to jail. Nobody's telling him to stop, and he's just going to keep forgiving loans. Again, you as the taxpayer pay for this stuff. Okay, you're getting 0% return on your investment when they simply forgive the balance owed. Biden also let me add this in there. Okay. The U.S., when it comes to spending money on schools, it is number 2 or 3 or 4 in the entire world on what we spend on public education. The only folks ahead of us as of 2020 was Iceland, Norway, Luxembourg. The U.S. spends about 14 to 15 grand for just primary education. Okay. That's on public schools. So we spend a lot of money, but we're not getting good results here. So as we can see here, in 2017, the U.S. ranked 38th in math, 24th in science, when compared against 71 other countries. And if you look back in the 90s, back when I was back in school, who knows? If you look here, we were ranked 6th. So something has happened, even though we've been spending way more money on this stuff. Where is that money going? That's the most important part, right? The thing with our schools, as much money as he wants to throw at them and everything else, as we can see here, since 1960, we spend an inflation-adjusted average 280% more than what we did in 1960. Okay. And this is why I think giving more money to the schools isn't going to work, because it goes exactly here. Benjamin Scafidi wrote in his report, Back to the Staffing Surge, this is where your money's going. It's literally money going into the bureaucracy, the bubble-headed middle management, people who don't actually teach your kid. So here we go. Surges in staffing and administration bloat have become the norm across the country. From 1950 to 2009, student populations increased by 96%, while non-teaching staff increased by a whopping 702%. Okay. And if we look where the money's going, it isn't going to the teachers. More recently, Scafidi observed that between 1992 and 2014, real education spending per pupil increased by 27%, whereas real teacher salaries dropped by 2%. So like Ronald Reagan said, I'm not going to put in the clip, but he said it must be some room for some overhead. So he just wants to spend more money on schools, and essentially saying that everybody should have this and have that, and we should have free schooling. Everything should be free. Again, that's dumb. But the other thing that really got on my nerves was when he was talking about what the wealthy pay in taxes. Go ahead and put that clip in.
Surely by making big corporations, the very wealthy, finally beginning to pay their fair share. I'm a capitalist. If you want to make or can make a million or millions of bucks, that's great. Just pay your fair share in taxes. You know, there are 1,000 billionaires in America. You know what the average federal tax is for those billionaires? They're making great sacrifices, 8.2%.
So as you can see there, this is one of many, as a matter of fact. He said that the billionaires only paid 8.2% of their, it's either 8.2 or 8.5% of their income tax. That's it. But if you look here, even the 400 wealthiest taxpayers as of 2014 paid 23.1%. Their taxable income was $127 billion. They paid $29.5 billion in income taxes. That's more than the bottom. Let me make sure I say this again because this annoys me. That's more than the bottom 70% of taxpayers combined. Okay. I have to keep reiterating this because there's a certain segment of people that I know and I see on YouTube and I see in other places who don't know any of this stuff and just spout out stuff that the rich aren't paying their fair share. And again, the left always talks in euphemisms because what the hell is a fair share? So he said 25%. They're already getting 23.1%. And I think I have another clip saying if about all the stuff that could be done with billionaires' money, but we're going to get back to that really quick. So by extension, we can look at the top 1%. Okay, this is from the IRS. Now, this is from the Heritage Organization. They're right-leaning, but again, their data straight from the IRS. The top 1% made 21% of the income, and they paid 40% of the income taxes. Okay. The bottom 75% made 31% of income, and they paid 13% of the income taxes. So again, why are we doing this? Why are we demonizing people? Why are we lying to people? We're lying to people so that the president can essentially juxtapose this with, if only we can get more money from the billionaires and the millionaires and the top 1%, that we can do all this stuff. So cue up that too, Ed and Marcus.
I propose a minimum tax for billionaires of 25%, just 25%. You know what that would raise? That would raise $500 billion over the next 10 years. Imagine a future with affordable child care. Imagine a future with paid leave. Imagine the future of home care and elder care.
So as we can see there, that's the kind of stuff that ticked me off in the State of the Union. And it was a whole lot more. But at the same time, I did not want to try to make this video 8 hours long. I had to re-record this because the audio was so much terrible. It was so worse than what it is now. But that's it. So the things that ticked me off, and it was a myriad of them. It was saying that January 6th was an insurrection. Again, let me make sure I say this again. It was not an insurrection. This isn't the year 700 BCE, where when you take out the leader in charge, all of a sudden everybody bows down to you like it's Chronicles of Riddick or something. Our school systems, they need to be demolished. They need to be demolished. If you are not performing, I'm sorry, the school system needs to be demolished. But it's more so a problem with the family structure than it is with anything else. Biden actually said what the real problem was. This is edited, Marcus, by the way. All right, roll it.
That children coming from broken homes where there's no books and not read to, not spoken to very often.
Okay. I have kids that are doing pretty well in school, very well in school, in fact. And their mother's not an idiot. I don't think I'm an idiot. And we reread books. We actually have a bookcase in the house with books in it that we've read. So I mean, we think by spending more money on the schools that it's going to fix all these problems. No, it's not. No, it's not. Unless the government gets their hands on your baby as soon as they come out the womb. That's it. Okay? But the government isn't going to do that, and they shouldn't do that. And then the last thing is why on earth why is it okay to demonize people that are doing well or better than you are? Why? I don't understand that. So we lie by saying that they don't pay their taxes when they pay more than folks that are doing worse off. And we keep trying to say that you can have all this stuff. You can have all this stuff if you can just get the money from them.
Pass the Equality Act. And my message to transgender Americans, I have your back. Pass the PRO Act for workers' rights. Raise the federal minimum wage. I'm cutting our carbon emissions in half by 2030.
And that, I think, is insane. Okay? It's insane and it's bad. And again, FYI, just so any numbnuts out there in my audience, if Trump gets in office and he gets up there and starts spouting off nonsense, I'm going to be here saying that this dude's wrong too. Just so that you know. Okay? I'm on the right, but I'm not some damn sycophant. Okay? But it's a lot of folks I know on the left who almost never criticize Biden, but it's fine. Hey, thanks for tuning in. This is take 2 of Nights and Weekends. I will see y'all in a week. Have fun. Big Ben, I'll see you when I come back down there. All right. Bye.